us. For those of you who are joining us or will be joining, know that thinking well is really important. I don't know what I was thinking though when I put on this eyeshadow because it's a bit bright. I just got it from TikTok shop, and well, I liked it when I saw it on the screen, but well, we'll see. Um, yeah, I just want to say thank you for joining today. Please make this a robust conversation. Be very interactive. Ask questions. I am very honored to have Yahhila Yisrael. Did I say that right, Yahhila?
Yes, you
Yahhila.
did.
She almost went a shimmy. Yahhila Israel is with us. Um, she's a woman to be celebrated, and I'm sure she celebrates herself. But from what I've learned about her, she's worthy of celebration. And here are some reasons why. Before I jump into that, let me say once more, my name is Angela Gibson. I'm the founder of Eve Speaks. This platform was born out of my desire to heal, aspire, and grow. So Yahhila has been in business since 2020. I'm going to brag on her a little bit, and then I'm going to give her a chance to brag on herself because she's supposed to be celebrated. She is to be celebrated. Been in business since 2020. You know when that was? In the middle of COVID. Am I not right? That was COVID.
Yeah, yeah,
When people needed your services more than anything else, because her focus is on helping people with self-care, mindfulness, meditation, really to get their mind right, to think right. She's setting the platform. She helps people with the platform to think well. If you don't feel good, it's hard to think well because your thinking is part of your mood, right?
hmm
Helps your mood. So she helps people with their self-care through yoga, meditation, mindfulness, and she's also a Reiki practitioner. I don't really know what that is, but she's going to tell us. Um, and this her journey, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, started because she was a daycare. She provided daycare. She was a daycare provider in her younger days, but look at how great she is. She has three children. Look how great she looks. Three children, which are adults.
Thank you.
She has been taking care of herself. So we can learn a couple of things from her, right? And you remember, I always say success leaves clues. So we're going to figure out what she's been doing to be looking so good. With three children, she runs a business, and she also just opened up a wellness center. Is it in Queens?
Yeah, in Jamaica,
And what
Queens, Jamaica.
Jamaica, Queens, she has opened up a wellness center where you can go in for your consultation and learn how to practice mindfulness, meditation. Learn. I've never gone to yoga personally. I always thought, oh, this looks so boring. So, but you're gonna change my mind today, right? I used to always say, you're gonna be looking boring. But today you're gonna change my mind. She's a mom of three, 20, 24, and 23-year-old children. And she's looking fabulous.
Sorry,
And
26, 26,
26,
24,
right?
23.
24, 23. Oh, success leaves clues, guys. And she's been practicing wellness and meditation and mindfulness that helps her to, you know, to heal, aspire, and grow, I would imagine. And today, like I said, we're talking about strategic thinking as it pertains to the toolkit for outsmarting stress. A lot of times we are thinking, but we're not thinking within a framework. She's going to address how to use strategic thinking to unlock this toolkit. I talk about a toolkit. I was telling her that I bought my husband a toolkit a few years ago. We live in this house, right? And I always tell him if he dies or something like that happens, I am selling this house immediately because it's too much to take care of a house. I mean, things are always breaking, the pipe busts, the toilet gets banged up, there's gardening. I mean, there's so many things. And I'm like, I just don't have the tools. And even if I did, I wouldn't know how to use them. I just don't have, I wasn't endowed with that gift to fix things.
That gives us six
I
things.
know, I know the importance of having a toolkit. So, what did you say, Yahila?
I said the gift of fixing things.
No, I don't have. I just was not blessed like that. But I do know there's the importance of having a toolkit, and the toolkit we're going to open up and learn about today is how to practice mindfulness, how to take care of ourselves, and learn a little bit about yoga, meditation, all the things. So welcome, Yahhila. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself outside of what I've already shared.
Let's see, where should I start? I'm Haitian American, born here. My parents and grandparents and people before that are from Haiti. I live here right now in Jamaica, Queens, New York, where my business is located. I grew up in Long Island. Currently, right now, yes, I am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for well, in the wellness field since about I first came in 2018, but even prior to that, for a good 5 years, I was working in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was working in the gym, and then I had my daycare business, a home business, watching several kids, several children, and I ran that business for about 15, maybe 15 years, 15
15.
years
Wow.
before coming into the wellness industry. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2018, I became a certified yoga teacher. Shortly after that, I started learning about just different breath techniques, breathing techniques, along with meditation. Well, pretty much around the same time. 2020 is when I officially started my business and became a Reiki practitioner. A Reiki, the Reiki, a Reiki practitioner. The Reiki procedure is a Japanese technique which
Spell that for
uses
us, please. Spell that word for us, for those of us who want to go
sure
Google it later.
Reiki, Reiki.
IKI, guys. Reiki practitioner. So Japanese practice, you said?
Yes, it's a Japanese healing technique. What the
Uh-huh.
practitioner, what it helps with is to remove toxins from the body, also help to balance our chakras, which is our energy wheels throughout our body. It does promote.
Or energy, or energy what?
We have energy wheels
Energy
throughout the.
wheels
Yes,
throughout our
they're
body.
called. Mm-hmm, they're called
Going to
chakras.
bed. I'm going to bed less ignorant tonight. So we have everybody. By the way, let me just say hello, Angela Hodges, Charmaine Cooper, Mary Beth McCarthy, Motivation Network. It's a whole network here. Shorna, welcome. Um, so their motivation. What is it? What's the wheels in our
um,
body?
they're called chakras. There's seven main ones that runs through the center of our body, but we do hold several different ones throughout the body.
Can you spell that word you're saying? Shock rose. Spell it, please.
Chakra, Charka.
Charka. Chakra. Uh-huh. Okay. Wheels that run through our bodies. And what does it do?
Um, they're our energy field.
Energy fields. Okay. Is there
Yeah.
any part of the body that it's located?
They're all throughout the body, but the main ones run down the center from the base of the spine, all the way up to the crown of the head.
Oh, energy fields. Okay. Wow. And what does the energy, when you say energy field, tell me a little bit more about it.
Um, okay, so we have an energy field that's called the heart chakra. So
Heart chakra.
sometimes these energy fields can be blocked, maybe by holding emotions um, in these areas of our body. So the way
Mhm.
that we can remove or help these energies to move within our bodies is sometimes yes through exercise. whether you're going to any form of activity to help loosen up or break up that energy that's holding on into your body. Our emotions can get trapped inside of.
Energy. If it's
Yes,
negative energy, you
it can
can
be.
break.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How can the individual know that there's negative energy in a particular energy area or chakra?
um well, maybe not negative energy. It can just be energy that's trapped. I don't like to say things are negative or positive. It just kind of is. But if you have like stagnant energy, it can be energy from past emotions or past, let's say, trauma that gets trapped inside the body. Some people may experience it as being pain in a certain part of the body, maybe just discomfort and sleeping.
Mm.
It could be a cough, a lingering cough, or a cold. So it can be a various different
Sounds
things.
negative to me, but
Stress,
I
stress,
sounds very
stress and
negative to
anxiety.
me. Yeah.
Also stress and anxiety.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
yeah, things like exercise, swimming, doing things that you like can help to release these things.
It sounds like we have already started to delve into the toolbox. Reiki sounds like one of the tools to break up negative energy. And knowing that we have chakra
Hmm.
fields, is chakra
Yes, energy fields.
fields. Oh my gosh, this is so great. That's very, very educational. Guys, if you have questions, please ask now. I mean, you probably didn't know what chakra was, just like me. So that's one of the tools. So that's good to know. I know for myself, I struggled with anxiety for years, and I never knew that. So, and that could have been so helpful. Um, wow. So, tell us more, a little bit more about how you help people with mindfulness and what's your process?
Um,
Because we're unlocking the
so
toolbox, right? People are stressed out, bogged down with all kind of cares in the society. And you were so brave during the height of COVID, you decided to open up a business, become an entrepreneur, which is a huge deal because I'm an entrepreneur and I know the mindset it takes to be an entrepreneur is people take it like they want to be in business, but there's so much more to it than the idea or the glory that they perceive of
yes,
being an entrepreneur. It really
yeah.
requires you to have these kind of practices. So, why don't you tell us about your journey to entrepreneurship and how mindfulness or these techniques have been helping you in business?
Um, well, to answer that, I can kind of go back to when I first was in the process of even becoming a childcare provider.
Hmm.
It was definitely a long process, and even from that experience of starting that business, um, helped me to help me with patience. Not having patience can cause stress and anxiety, because back then, so there's a
Hmm.
lot of rules and there's a lot of regulations. There's a lot of things there's a lot of forming the house, your home, of where you're going to bring children in. So, and started right at that time, I was working part time, but trying to work full time to get the business together,
Right.
and just trying to balance things out when working full time and trying to start working part time and trying to start a home business. And then, I have to balance out the funds because we need the fence, to circulate, the clothes in the backyard. So things like that. And not being approved at that moment when inspectors came, or the licensing agency came to inspect the home to see to see if it meets the standards. And that I was really frustrated at that moment because I didn't pass, and it's like I had to start like the whole thing over with start
Wow.
the process all over again, and that really frustrated me. It
Right.
really frustrated me to the point where I almost wanted to kind of like give up. And I don't want to say I gave up, but I did put it to a pause of, as far as going through the process again. So yes, being an entrepreneur at that point did show me that I have to have patience with the process.
Great. Entrepreneurship will make you want to give up at time because it can be a very lonely journey, isolating, and a lot of people cannot relate to it. They just think, oh, she got her own business, but you don't know what it took to get here. And the mental work that is required to to be stable, to have employees in my case, and to carry it on day in and day out. You definitely need a toolkit as an entrepreneur. But you don't have to be an entrepreneur to need this toolkit, because life in and of itself requires that we practice mindfulness if we're going to be healthy and have some way of breaking up the negative energy. I would call it negative because I've been diagnosed with anxiety, and to the point
Mm.
where I wrote a book. It's called Peace Beyond the Splinter. You probably can't see it. Reclaim your promise of peace and profit from anxiety's grip through prayer. So I'm intimately familiar with the struggle of negative energy, trapped and ruling my days and my nights and my moments. So I'm very proud of the fact that you decided in the middle of COVID to be strategic. Now, tell us about how you employed strategic thinking, because I know you read a chapter from John Maxwell. We're reading this
Yes.
book, Thinking for a Change, and it's all about thinking well. So, tell us, what is it about the book that really stood out to you as you were reading it? Or that,
Well, the but this I like the way that it definitely started up this first line: if quitters never win and winners never quit, then why should I quit while I'm ahead?
why should I quit when you're ahead? But do you think that people usually quit when they're ahead? I don't think so.
Um I mean, as far as that story I gave about opening up the business, I was there. There was one thing I had to do, but I did kind of
Mm,
quit for a moment.
right. Even though most people wouldn't do what you were doing, you were ahead in that sense. It's true. Okay.
I did quit because if I didn't quit, I wouldn't have waited like another 5 months to say, okay, let me see what I can do to put this fence up around, it was put the get this fence done so I can start. I
Hmm.
did in a way quit because I was frustrated because I did all the things I had to do inside, but I didn't do the one thing outside.
Hmm.
So I did
So,
kind of quit.
right. So how does that speak to you now, looking back as you
Looking back, it's like, don't quit. Just like you're you're right there on the threshold. Just keep on
mm,
going.
right? Why quit when you're ahead?
You start when you start something,
Uh-huh.
just because that one thing didn't go right. Now you see what you have to do or understand what's happening. Now just stop and figure out what's the next step to do.
Okay, it's true. So do you practice Reiki on yourself now?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Because sometimes we have the tools, we
And we
can give
don't
it to other
use
people,
them.
we don't practice it ourselves. So is to also practice what you preach. That's a strategy in and of
Yeah,
itself. Because as an
yeah,
entrepreneur, I can do all the right things and still not do what I'm supposed to do for myself, but I do it for other people.
right.
So that's also a strategic mindset that you have to nurture.
Yes, and this is important because we have to, well, not just entrepreneurs, but everyone has to be in control of in control of themselves.
Right.
their health, our health. Hmm.
So, what would you tell the person who doesn't even know that they don't know that they need to practice mindfulness, meditation, or find yoga? What would you tell the person that don't know that they don't? Because sometimes we don't know that we don't know. It's called ignorance or unaware, not being aware.
Not
What
being
would you tell?
aware,
Mm,
not being aware. Well, it would depend on the situation and how do I know this person? Where did we meet? If we're just talking and
mm,
if I meet someone and we're just happen to be talking or they start telling me what's happening in their lives. So, because sometimes that does happen. I meet strangers and for whatever reason, they're telling me their life story.
right.
So what I would suggest would be, what I would say is, well, what do you have any self-care routines that you practice? That might be one of my questions. Or what do you do in your leisure time? So depending on the conversation, that would be one of my go-to questions.
Mm,
And then I would take it from there. I was like, well, maybe you can practice like going for taking walks in the morning, and breathing the air or sitting outside in nature. I would start off with something light if I don't really know the person and depending on the atmosphere that we met. So I wouldn't jump to saying, oh, you should do yoga. Oh, you should, go and meditate. But I would start off with something like that. Go out, go to the park, be outside with nature. Just try and spend some time walking on your own and enjoying the air, the breeze. I would start off with something like that.
You know what I've discovered is that you don't think these things make such a big difference if you're feeling okay. When you really get, like, when I really got afflicted with anxiety and not and was not doing those things, like now I have a trainer, I go to the gym. Let me tell you some of my tools. I have a trainer, so I'll be going to the gym. I take walks. I just started a garden. A friend, and my neighbor on here just helped me start a garden. She tutored me through. It makes me feel so alive. Just seeing the, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, 4 weeks ago I planted, the peppers popped up. It's like, wow, that is amazing. Um, Taking a walk with my daughter to Panera and sitting down and talking to her. This Saturday we went down, we just sat and just talked. But not being aware that those things are so important can
Mm-hmm.
really put you in a
Make
place
a
where you,
difference.
yeah, it's such a funk. But I didn't realize it's a fairly new, acknowledgement of mine where I came to a place where I realized that these things matter, and you can't just think that you're gonna feel good just because. It has to be very intentional and very
Yes,
deliberate. And this
yes.
this Saturday when I went and sat down with her, we went on a trip. We came back from the North Carolina. I went to the mountains. I've never been at the top of a mountain before. That was like amazing, empowering,
Amazing.
awesome, God adoring experience. It's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sharing with my daughter, she came with me, but when we went, she's 10, so she's going through emotions and stuff, teenage little girls, attitudes and all the things. So I was trying to share with her, Rachel, when we went to Debbie's house, did you saw how hospitable Debbie was? She came and she tried to connect with you and bring all of this up because while she was there, she wasn't talking to anybody really. So I'm trying
Oh.
to help her to think about how to be hospitable. And as I'm sharing
Mm.
with her and I'm talking to her, I said to her, Rachel, when I was young, nobody asked me how I felt. Do you see how Debbie wanted to make
Mm.
you feel? You see how she wanted to connect with you? Debbie's like 70 years old. And she was trying so hard to connect with my daughter. But my daughter, because she's in her phase, was very standoffish. I thought it was inhospitable. I thought it was rude, even though she didn't really say much. Um,
Mm-hmm.
By me sharing with her, I broke down crying because the minute I said, when I was younger, nobody hugs me. Nobody asked me how I was doing. Nobody asked me how I felt. Feelings was not in the
Yes.
language. In Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
nobody cares about how you're feeling. Um, and me just talking to her, I started reflecting on my own, and she started crying. She initially started getting an attitude when I first addressed her, But the minute I opened up and became vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
she broke down and she came and she gave me a hug. And I said, thank you for the hug. I really needed it. So I thought I was there to help her, but she actually helped me as well. But I share this to say that sometimes we're just not aware of what the things that we can do to increase our mindfulness and to
Mm-hmm.
practice our mindfulness. And when listening to you talk about yoga and Reiki and energy that's trapped reminded me of my conversation with my daughter and the fact that I went to the mountaintop and saw the wonder of God and was in such awe. So I think for the people who are here watching or listening, rather, please take this to heart that you need to open the toolkit and go for the walk. Consult Yahila. You never know. She may tell you where the energy, what energy field is something is trapped. It sounds kind of amusing to me actually, but it's serious. Something may be trapped. I know. Um, Learn what it means to practice mindfulness. What does it mean actually to practice mindfulness? It sounds so sophisticated. Tell us, what does it really mean?
Mindfulness, just like what I said earlier, mindfulness can being just walking in the park, being mindful of looking at the trees, looking at the colors of the leaves, looking at the bark, listening to the bird is just that so many things can be mindful. Gardening is
Mm,
mindfulness. God, mindfulness is anything that you're currently being aware of without having the flood of thoughts in coming through your head about the laundry, what's tomorrow's schedule look like, having to iron, or I gotta drop the laundry off, and then I gotta do dinner. All these thoughts flood our minds at times, right? Sometimes nonstop. So mindfulness is just like, okay, this is that mindfulness is one way that we can help our brains to kind of settle
calm.
and be relaxed and calm down by focusing on the things that's around you, focusing on the birds, watching two cats, the kittens play, or listening, really listening to some soft music and really enjoying that. That that's mindfulness is can be as simple as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be complicated.
So, audience, please share with us, what are you doing right now, if anything, to practice mindfulness? What is in your toolkit that you use to outsmart stress, which is the title of our show tonight, to outsmart stress from a strategic perspective? How do you practice it? Are you practicing it? Even if you don't write an answer in the chat, which I hope you do, so we can give each other ideas. Please, Stan Anderson just raised his hand. What do you have to say, Stan? We're all ears. Uh, was it a mistake, Stan? I don't know. I don't see a question here.
You might be
But
looking
the
for
idea
the
is, yeah, you share with us how you're practicing mindfulness. What else did you learn from the chapter about strategic thinking that stood out to you?
um I like that well, with strategic planning, um I like where the writer emphasized about looking out from the beginning of the month, looking at the calendar for the next month prior. Like you're always staying ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Always planning forward, and don't wait till you get into the moment to create a plan. I find that useful for me, being as far as being an entrepreneur. Um, I have to do what I need to do to make sure that I'm lined up with clients for the following month or whatever my schedule would look like, the following month, because I have to. That's part of being an entrepreneur, always
Mm,
planning ahead.
planning ahead. I have this little thing that I practice called pop. If you're gonna pop, you gotta prepare on purpose, and that's what that reminds me of. Oh, Stan says, yeah, yeah. What Yahila would you recommend as a first tool in the wellness process?
First
Mm,
tool in the wellness process. Do you mean so what a person should do? What's the first tool a person should do in the wellness process?
Open the box and there are all these tools. Which one should he snatch first? The hammer or the nail?
I would say awareness.
Awareness. That's true, right? Because being unaware.
Awareness. You have to be aware of where the mind is going, be aware of the body, what's the body feeling, total mind and body awareness. What do I need? What does my mind tell me I need? What does my body tell me I'm needing? So I would say definitely awareness. Because without awareness, you won't know exactly what's needed for yourself. You have to be aware that, oh, my body's tense. I need to learn to relax. Maybe I need to stretch a little bit. Maybe I just need to reach my arms up. Maybe I need to stretch a little bit side to side. And
Mm,
these are the things that you can do to, well, maybe I need to go for a massage. This is all self care, but it also always starts with awareness.
mhm.
Um, and also, there's nothing wrong with talking to someone. Am I too anxious? Is my mind always too much racing? Should I sit with and chat with somebody? And that's always, that's always an option too that we shouldn't be afraid of.
Yeah,
But
when your
I
mind
think it
starts
starts with
to race.
awareness.
Mm. Do you feel like sometimes people need help with awareness? Like, if you had to help somebody to get awareness, do you think that sometimes that's necessary? Because the whole idea of not knowing that you don't know, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, but again, it would be all in the situation of meeting the person. Because for a person to walk through the doors to come and see me or call me, they have to be in an awareness already,
Mm.
right?
Something
They
must
have to
be
be aware of that something is
off.
right.
Something
Just
is
like,
trapped.
right. Just like, before you go to the doctor or make that appointment with your doctor, you're in awareness that my chest feels tight.
Mm.
But sometimes things are happening with our bodies and sometimes we ignore it.
That's true. It's not so much that we know where sometimes we ignore it. That's a big part.
Sometimes we ignore it.
Stan says, thank you, Yahila. Angela Arges, she
You're
says
welcome, man.
On Sundays, she takes an hour to do a mask. And while that is drying, she journals. That's really cool, right?
Yes, yes. Journaling is definitely a tool.
So you put
It's
on a
a,
mask and then you journal. That's very interesting. I can picture that.
yeah, I mean, it's self-care. People call it self-care Sunday. So
Yes, yeah.
mask and journal, that's total wellness right there.
That is awesome, Angela. Actually, you have my name too. What I do journal, jumping, juicing, and Jesus. Doesn't
Mm.
that sound fabulous? I don't always do it, but it helps me to have a rhythm. Okay, this is my juicing. It's time to jump, and then I'll spend some time with Jesus. And then while I'm doing that, I'm journaling. So yeah, that's really been a game changer for me in terms of fighting anxiety because, whoo, child, sometimes I think I wouldn't be able to sleep, eat, I lose weight. I mean, it gets really intense. So I'm telling you, I'm not just having this conversation for having it. Shorna says she drives to a place where she can see water and journal. I love the water.
Mm. Yes, I love the water too. I will
Isn't
get up
God?
early in the morning just to go to the beach, like right before I have to start my day. I would
Really?
wake up early for that.
That's beautiful. Sometimes I go to Gateway Park and just stand there and pray and look out and remind myself of who God is. Oh,
Mm.
so it's such a connection. I can
Yes.
attract the world. It's everything, everything. Um, so the water helps her to relax and clears her mind. Ah, I know what she's talking about. So, what else would you teach us about this process of mindfulness? And I've learned quite a bit already. Terminologies I've never used. Reiki, chakra, uh, fields of energy. Almost like I'm taking a mini class here. Um, but in order for us to reach our altitude, we have to change our attitude. And a lot of times that's not possible if we're not aware and if we're not practicing mindfulness. Have you met some really grouchy people? I mean, on the buses and stuff, they're miserable. I've been that person. So it's so important that if we're going to reach our altitude, which is essentially what this whole platform is about, to help people to heal, aspire, and grow. We're saying, come reach your altitude. Make sure you're setting yourself up to encounter or to experience and live out or leave a legacy of having reached your promise, your possibility, and living out your purpose. And you can't do that if you're cluttered and have energy trapped all over the place. Energy, energy trapped, and negative, and feeling burdened down. Because what I've discovered is that when emotionally I'm not doing well, nothing is doing well. Nothing. So me running a business and having employees and all these different demands on me, I definitely have to abide by a strategy to to be well, to practice wellness. And my most recent thing is the gardening that just literally gets me excited. Literally.
Can I add
And
one?
so huh?
Sorry. No, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, no, that's it. Go ahead, tell me.
Um, you said you have employees, so I feel that when you're practicing, whether it's gardening, anything to help calm the mind, calm the body, going to the gym, and being aware, right? Um, your emotion, and you're working on your emotions and things like that. It definitely helps with the way you interact with your employees as well.
Oh yeah.
It will help with sustainability with your employees, as opposed
It's
to someone that's not practicing these things or using these tools. Um, and that's why the cycle of angriness goes around, because the person goes to get up in the morning, they go to work, their boss or whoever is their manager is upset, speaks to them in a not a very kind way. Then they come home and they're just recycling it back. And so,
recycle the negative energy or the trapped energy. Yes, totally. And being aware, and and I know better too, because I read my scriptures, and sometimes, but you need, in addition to the scriptures, these other things. It's a holistic approach. It's not just, it's just being aware that you need just more than any one thing, and know what works for you.
right.
Um, and sometimes at work I'll be feeling my patience running out with my people, and I have to just tell myself, this is not the time to speak. I have like I have a reservoir that I can call upon because I've invested the time in myself. I have self-care Saturdays, and I encourage
Mm,
people, do something fun, go for a ride. I taught myself to ride a bike. All the things. These are all some of the things that are in the toolbox. But everybody seems to have something that they do, which is good. So they may feel like, I'm good. I got something that I'm doing already. But would you say that it needs to be a formalized practice, or just gonna, you know?
Um, I would say that, well, when they say that, as far as exercising, you should be exercising anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week. Um, so I would say that everyone's week is different. Everyone should, maybe each person individually can set a tone or set a schedule for themselves on how their mindfulness moment will look like, whether starting out new, maybe you dedicate 5 minutes a day to doing something mindfulness. It can be even that small of a time. And then gradually work your way up, whether it's going for a walk or doing some stretching. I see a lot of people asking about the breath work or the breathing exercises in the chat. I can do a small practice if you like. Okay. So this earpod just went out. Let me see. But can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
We're gonna do something actual. Do something.
Well, we're gonna do something. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So I'll invite you to allow your feet to be flat on the ground.
On the ground. Okay.
And we're going to take a breath in, bring your shoulders up to your ears. Breathing out, shoulders down. Breathing in, shoulders up. Breathing out, shoulders down. One more. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Bring your chin towards your chest, resting your palms above your knees. We're going to do half circles, gently rolling your head, ear towards your shoulder. Gently bring your chin towards your chest, moving slowly. Roll into the opposite side. We'll do that 2 more times. Chin towards your chest, rolling. One more time, chin towards your chest, gently rolling to the opposite side. Bring your chin back towards your chest and your head back to center.
Mm-hmm. How many times are we supposed to do this before we start to feel an effect?
You mean like a week, within the week, or the same
Oh,
moment?
within the period of time that you select.
Well, what a combination of movements. So I'll just tell you this one story. I was teaching a class for a gym in Brooklyn, and the classes are an hour. I gave the class, finished the class, and the 2 people from that class a gentleman came up to me. He said that he had a like some type of pinch in his lower back. He must have pulled something, and it was there for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And after the class, that pinch or whatever he was feeling for the last 3 weeks was gone.
Oh, wow.
I remember he said he worked for Google. He
You
said it
were,
was
oh,
gone.
Google probably stressed him out. Working for
Right.
Google.
Then there
Wow.
was this other young lady that was in the class. She had something going on with her knee.
Mm-hmm.
And she said after the class that she came in limping. Actually, she came in limping into the class, and after she left the class, before she left the class, she stopped me and said, I came in limping and I'm not limping anymore after the end of class.
Wow. You almost sound like you're healing people. Like literally. Like, be healed.
So some people can feel the effect right away.
Wow.
Even with the breathing exercises, well, I'll do a short demo in a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, I'll just let you feel it out. Okay. So
Okay.
we're going to sit with our feet flat on the ground. You can
Mm-hmm.
rest your back against the seat if that feels good to you, or you can stay sitting upright. Allow the shoulders to relax down away from your ears. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you'll close your eyes or soften your gaze.
Mm-hmm.
Take a moment to bring your awareness to your breath. Just think about the flow of your breath. Notice your breath as it flows in and out through your nose. Take a moment to notice your breath.
as it enters through your nostrils. Notice your breath as it hits the back of your throat. Notice your breath as it passes your heart. Notice your breath as it fills your lungs. As it nourishes each and every cell. Excuse me. This is a process that's happening all the time. Today, I invite you to notice the flow of your breath. Take a few moments, excuse me, take a few moments to notice, to bring to your awareness one thing that you are grateful for today. Take a full breath in, breathe in through your nose slowly. Allow your exhale to be longer than your inhale. 2 more breaths the same way. Breathe it in. Slowly breathing out through your nose. 1 more breath, 1 more time. Once you're ready, open your eyes. And become aware of your body and your mind.
The trick is to not get your mind running all over the place.
When the mind starts to wander, and just bring the focus back to the breath. You can even say to yourself, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Whether you want to whisper it, say it out loud, or think it in your mind, whichever way is going to help you or assist you to stay focused on the breath. I am breathing in, I am breathing out.
I can say that. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay. That happens sometimes too when I'm praying. I might be going all over the place. The discipline, I guess I have to hone. Angela says, thank you. That was great.
Oh, it's my
Yes, thank you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Great exercise. Um, so, from a strategic perspective, what I do know is self development is so important. Self care, self development is so important. And a lot of times we want to reach our personal goals, whether it be professional, parental, relational, whatever the goals are. But what I've learned over the years from having been married, I've been married now for almost 19 years. I've been running a business for about 18 years. I have 2 children. I've been a follower of Jesus for over 30 years, what I've learned is that my personal development my professional development will only go as high as my personal development.
Mm.
So I believe in coaching. I believe that everybody needs a coach. And that's why I have a trainer. I have somebody who helps me with I have a peer relationship that helps me with my marriage when I have issues with my husband. I need input about how to be a better wife, how to be a parent. Coaching is so important. And I think that this is another way in which we can be coached into getting more aware of our need for self-care, our need to practice mindfulness, our need to learn that we can't just kind of, do it by happenstance. We have to be intentional and deliberate.
Intentional. Hmm.
Yeah, be intentional and deliberate, and we need the coaching to get us to a place where we see the value of investing in ourselves. And so, from that perspective, I invite you to reach out to us here on the Speaks platform. And Yahhila, if you want to have a consultation with Yahhila, please tell us how people can get in touch with you for their own personal consultation to practice mindfulness.
Yes, you can send me an email to my email. I'll give it to you. It's nice and easy.
You can
Um,
write in the chat. Can you write in the chat for them
oh,
so they can see?
sure. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put all the information in the chat.
Yeah. So, because you just opened up a wellness center, people just walk in and talk to you. How does this work? The wellness center that you opened up in
Um,
Queens.
it is by appointment, so one would have to call to set an appointment before coming in.
Okay. And you advise this if someone is already in therapy? It's still a good practice to undertake or to.
If someone is seeing a therapist of any sort, they should I'll always say, consult with your people that you're working with at first, maybe even your physician to let them know or to make sure that it's okay for you to just like some people would have to consult with a doctor if they're going to be working out in the gym. So if you want to practice yoga, just to make sure that you are well enough to practice yoga. Um, I'm just saying this because everyone's different. So some people have to consult with their doctor before practicing any physical activity. So that's why I'm just putting it out there. If you're seeing, but if you are seeing a therapist, you can. I would say yes, consult. Make sure that's okay. But of course, I'm sure you can make your own decisions. But if you feel the need to consult with someone prior to seeing someone to lead you, excuse me, to lead you with meditation, um, yeah, I would say consult first if that feels
Absolutely.
good to you.
And here on the eSpeaks platform, we have coaches on our platform that will help you through the process to heal. Some of us are in a place where we need to focus on our healing, because if we're not healed, it's hard to really reach your other goals. And it's not that you can't do them in tandem. You can be healing and still be pursuing your goals. But to think that you're going to reach your goals and not be healed is, well, you're hijacking your altitude. um, so we focus very much here on the process of healing, and we have a whole practice around it. You can set an appointment at our website, evespeaks.com, and and have a personal consultation. And we really are focused on teaching you how to think well so that we can make the changes that we need to make that is really going to impact the rest of our lives. And when we do that, it's a gift that keeps giving, because when I'm thinking, well, I can talk to my daughter from the perspective of, when I was growing up, nobody asked me how I was, but I said to her, but I don't want that for you, because I've become into a place where I've been working on my personal growth and development, that I can see through the lens of what is best for my daughter, the conversation I need to have with her, to connect with her, let her know that I'm not just telling her what to do. I have been to a place where I don't want you to be. And she somehow connected on my vulnerability. And that's part of the healing process for me and the aspiration and ultimately the growth, which she's going to take and pass on, hopefully, to her family. So, guys, it's 9:58. Those are some of the tools that we're using strategically to help us outsmart stress. It's very important that we're not ambushed by stress and yelling and screaming and passing down negative trapped energy to people around us because we're not aware. So I hope that you do contact us and do schedule a consultation, whether it's eSpeaks platform or Yahhila directly. The information is right here in the chat. But for now, I just want to say thank you for joining us. And we hope you join us again next Monday or the next time we have a show. We meet every Monday, but we don't always stream it live. But thank you again, and continue to heal, aspire, grow, or at least get on the journey. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for having me. Thank you, everyone, for showing. Thank
So
you.
glad you came.